finally winning it. So let's start with the big why. Why does this matter so much? I mean, before we even get to the solution, we have to understand the stakes. Because a slow website, it isn't just a small inconvenience for your visitors. No, it has a real and honestly a pretty dangerous cost for your business.
And here it is. It's that simple. That little delay, that extra second or two you wait for a page to load, that is the ultimate conversion killer. Every single moment a potential customer is staring at a loading screen is another opportunity for them to just give up, click away, and probably never come back.
Okay, so let's actually put some numbers on this. Let's quantify that cost. We're not just talking about someone getting a little annoyed. We are talking about a direct hit to your bank account.
Just look at this drop-off. It is absolutely brutal. The data couldn't be clearer. For every extra second your site takes to load, your chances of turning a visitor into a paying customer just fall off a cliff. The difference between a site that loads in 1 second and one that loads in 3, it's just staggering.
So yeah, this lag, it costs you real money. You're losing customers before they even see what you're selling. You're getting shopping carts abandoned right at the finish line because people just get fed up. And you're creating this frustrating experience that honestly just damages your brand's reputation over time.
All right, so that's the problem. It's a big one. So what's the fix? Well, what if your website wasn't just stuck in one single place on the planet, but what if it could be everywhere at once? Think about how a traditional website works. It's kind of like having just one big central restaurant. If you happen to live right next door, great, your food arrives fast. But what if you live on the other side of the world? You've got a really, really long trip just to get your meal. That trip, that distance, that's latency. Now, a content delivery network, or a CDN, it just flips that whole idea on its head. A CDN is like having a massive global franchise. Instead of one restaurant, you've got one in every major city. It works by storing copies of your website all over the world, in all these different data centers, so it can serve your customers from the closest possible spot. And this is the magic of a CDN in action. That user in Bucharest, Romania, instead of having to wait for the data to make the long trip all the way from Los Angeles, they get it served to them instantly from a local server right there in Romania. That long, slow trip across the Atlantic? Gone. That is the fundamental secret to having a truly global, blazing fast website. Now, for the longest time, having this kind of global network was a total luxury. I mean, it was complicated, it was incredibly expensive, and it was pretty much off limits for most of us. But then, a real game changer came along. And that was the reality for years and years. If you wanted this kind of global speed, you needed a massive budget. You needed a whole team of engineers just to manage the complicated system. It just wasn't something a solo developer or a small business or a startup could even dream of. Then, this company, BunnyCDN, they looked at this whole situation and basically said, we can do better. They built their entire company around 3 simple principles. First, delivering raw, top-of-the-line performance. Second, making the technology radically easy to use. And third, offering it all with incredibly fair and simple pricing. And by focusing on those 3 things, they did something kind of revolutionary. They took this powerful enterprise-level technology that was locked away for the big guys, and they made it accessible to literally everyone. They completely democratized high-speed content delivery. So how'd they do it? What's the secret sauce that lets them actually deliver on these promises? Well, it all breaks down into a few really key components. It really all boils down to these 3 things. First, it's not just a network anymore, it's a full ecosystem of tools. Second, it has some incredibly powerful optimization features built right in, and it's all wrapped up in a pricing model that is frankly a total breath of fresh air. Okay, first, the ecosystem. This goes way beyond just a simple CDN. They've got things like Bunny Storage, which is a super fast and way more affordable alternative to services like Amazon S3. And they've got Bunny Stream, which takes all the headaches and complexity out of hosting and streaming video to people all over the world. Second, those optimization tools, they're incredible. Take their Bunny Optimizer. It can automatically, on the fly, compress your images and convert them to modern, super efficient formats like WebP, all without you lifting a finger. A 2.5 megabyte image becomes just 250 kilobytes. That's a 90% reduction in size. That's a huge boost for your load time. And finally, the pricing. This is where they really tore up the rulebook. There are no complex, scary contracts to sign. There are no big monthly minimums you have to worry about hitting. You just pay for the data you actually use. That's it. Simple.
So when you put all this together, it brings up a question that I think everyone who has any kind of online presence really needs to ask themselves.
So who is this for, really? Well, it's for the startup that needs to be able to scale up fast without breaking the bank. It's for the e-commerce store where literally every single millisecond of load time can mean the difference between a sale and a lost customer. And it's for the content creator who needs their videos to just work flawlessly for everyone, everywhere.
And that just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In a world that moves this fast, where people's attention is the most valuable thing there is, and your competition is always just one click away, is your website really fast enough to compete?